Well, I like the stretch. I think last year they did the same thing where they were on the road a lot, and then they had a stretch where for a month they were home for like 3.5 weeks of it.
Yeah.
But West Coast trip, I would rather get it out of the way when they're fresh
Hmm.
and not after,
No, it's
oh,
all. Listen, last year's a little bit of a blur. I can't even recall. Like I do remember they
wasn't
had
much of a blur.
that. Well, what? Yeah, whatever. It was one of those things where like I don't even want to remember last year with all the
Yeah.
one-legged threes and the haze that it was. But yeah, they're starting off this year. It's like right out of the bat, they're gonna got the LA Denver trip in like 3 and 4 nights. I was like, oh, ooh, all right, let's get after it.
Everybody,
Right out of the
everybody
right
will
out
be
of the
fresh
chute.
though,
Hopefully, yes, everybody will be fresh.
but so will
Fresh
they.
and rare to go.
So
We're
will
gonna
they.
get we're gonna get an early look at Skinny Luca, but you did nail it because we had ourselves the opening night Orlando Magic.
Yep.
Back-to-back years.
Yep.
Checking out the although it's kind of a sexy matchup this year because Orlando beefed up.
It's it's crazy because over the last couple of years, we've seen the growth of Orlando and know that they're not to be played with. They got some players. They haven't quite, they kind of had the injury bug at the end of the year too. So um, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because they do look like one of those teams that are on an upwards trajectory.
No, they are. That's why they make the move for Desmond Bain. I will say though, it was interesting that I saw like they had a list. I think it was Hoops Hype came out with their list of shooting guards yesterday, and they had Tyler Hero sixth, and I think Desmond Bain was like all the way down to 13th. And man, he went for a lot of picks.
Yeah,
He went for a
I,
haul.
you know what it is. It's I'm gonna say this about Tyler. He's getting Kirk Cousins, meaning that Kirk Cousins has been a good quarterback. But for some reason, when you say Kirk Cousins, you don't give him his flowers. And I would say about Tyler, Tyler has had some success in the league, right? He's been asked to do a lot of different things that people don't really realize unless you're here. But he's been a scorer, he's been an assist guy, he shoots the three well, and he does a lot of these things. But for some reason, everybody else in the NBA is like, no, he ain't that guy.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because I see like a lot of these comparisons that are out there right now, like Austin Reeves. He's like, I better get at least Tyler Hero money, and I think he's talking Tyler Hero money now. And I'm like, listen, Austin Reeves, slow your roll there, Arkansas. All right, like just
That's crazy, right?
because you're intangibles with swag does not mean you're Tyler Hero. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
But are you Tyler Hero? I don't know if you're Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
But I even and then Cam Thomas is another one where like everybody is kind of looking at him and they're going to see what kind of money he's going to get, and they're going to use him as some sort of a barometer, which is I think is what makes this kind of a fascinating year. Because look, I think Tyler Hero is going to get paid, and I think Tyler's gunning for like the jackpot. I don't think he's gunning for the 40 million a year. I think he's looking for the for the Uber amount of money that's with the franchise with the 50 a year.
Does it I'm gonna say this, and this is not a knock on the Miami Heat, but it seems like every guy that's took the hometown deal got screwed.
Oh, he's not taking a hometown deal.
No, but I'm just saying, if you think about it.
I think he already said he wasn't taking a hometown deal. He's like, we could do it in the fall or we could do it in the summer. It'd just be more expensive. That didn't sound like hometown discount to me. That didn't sound like hometown discount to me.
Yeah.
I like the answer, by the way. I thought it was, I'm like, good. Have that confidence. Because if Tyler Hero
it's the same confidence Jimmy had before he one-legged three'd it.
Yeah, but the difference, look, the difference between Jimmy and Tyler is obviously the age. Like, that's the thing, is the Heat are going to decide this with Tyler Hero entering his prime. Is he a pillar of the franchise? Is he the guy that they're going to actually believe in? We know that they already invested in Bam. And you can see what listen, there's no clear arbitration of what the country thinks of those guys as a duo. the Kings have more national TV games than they do this year.
Right.
So, that's going to be on
I mean,
them
but
to show.
is that because of the players or the record last year?
I think both.
Okay.
I think both. I mean, I think both of those stand as reasons as to why.
And regardless of how much, let's look at this from a national perspective. Regardless of how much the Heat are always in the mix, and I'm gonna say every year, the Heat in some kind of capacity are gonna be involved in something at the end of the season. You never have to worry about that. But what about this team is appealing and fun to watch?
From my perspective,
well, just from a
look, I think that's totally fair. I don't think that they have the sexiest names nationally. I think probably if you were asked like who's the best watch on the team that's going to have the most highlights this year, Kel'el. Like Kel'el's the guy who probably like jumps off the page out of anybody.
I say young Jovic, like if he plays some consistent.
I'm talking though like the guy who has like eye-popping plays. I'm talking about the guy who people are gonna be like, whoa, who's gonna have the most of those ones? I'm not talking about best player.
No, you're talking about
I'm not talking about
it would probably be Kel'el. But if you're talking about the guy that if he's going off on a night where he can go for 40 hitting threes, they would be Tyler. Like
right. But we've already determined, Vlad. We've already determined what the rest of the NBA thinks about Tyler.
Right. He hasn't. I feel like the older he's gotten, the less gravitas he's gotten as a player. Like less people talk about him as far as like one of those national guys to tune into. Right or wrong? I'm just saying.
Right.
That's why I'm not picking him, Vlad, because I'm like looking at this and I'm like, well, obviously not. Yeah, Tyler Hero can have awesome games. I'm just saying, like, who's going to be the guy on this team that's going to be bringing people into the circus tent? And that's why I'm like looking. I'm like, Norman Powell, solid player. Like, how many guys have watched the Norman Powell mixtape?
Right. But if you had to go with who has the best mixtape, it'd be Kel'el.
Yeah, it's going to be either Kel'el. And I think Jovic is probably, like, if Jovic becomes, like, little Joker and has some of that in him this year, like, those are the guys, I feel like.
Yeah, but here's the thing about the schedule. And I love the way people get upset about how many primetime games they have and whatever. Right. It changes during the course of the year. Right, so if your team is balling out, you're going to get more nationally televised games.
Not that many more, dude.
Yes, you will.
First of all, I thought we would love to hear Eric Reed and John Crotty and Tony Fiorentino or whoever's there. I think we would love to hear the local cast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And second, who cares?
Right.
Who cares? Because if your team is bad, and then the national media gets on you, you're gonna be like, "Oh, the national media is on us." But then if you're good, okay, guess what happens? They're gonna do what the NFL does. They'll wipe out another team and put your game on because you're
right. Exactly.
You're doing things.
So while we sitting here we only have 5 national televised games. They start off 20-5. But you're gonna go up.
Okay, but the conversation was you guys asked like who's gonna be the guy that gets people into the Heat nationally, like who's gonna be the guy eye popping it, and that's what we're trying to figure out.
But I think if they have a good record and they're atop of the Eastern Conference at any point during the course of the season, they all are gonna get eyes on them, right? The problem is they were 37 and 45, right? That doesn't garner a whole bunch of primetime games. It doesn't.
Yeah, this isn't a Heat are being disrespected. I get why they have the I'm not doing that here.
Okay.
I'm asking who is the guy? Because you guys are saying Tyler, and I'm like,
I would say
Tyler's going to lead the score. Bam is the best, probably all around player on the Heat.
I would say
those guys have been in the league for 6 years, and they're obviously because guys who are not as good or teams that are not as good are still getting more eyeballs. Like DeMar DeRozan and Sabonis are getting more games than those guys.
Right.
What, Sacramento?
Yeah.
Wait, he's still in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For now.
He's
trying.
I would just say, yeah, I can't disagree about that. I would say it's Kel'el. Now that I think about it, when I'm thinking of when you watch Heat highlights, whenever there have been Heat highlights, it always comes with a Kel'el alley-oop or Kel'el block or something along those lines.
Well, that's what I think it's going to be. Like, I think, like, you know, he only started half the season last year. So I'm saying, like, if there's going to be a guy who's like, because Bam and Tyler have been around for 6 years. Yes, they're good. This is not a detriment on their talent as players. I'm talking about is there going to be, do the Heat have a new equation on them, an X factor that'll be like, oh, that'll actually get me interested. I think he's the guy who's gonna get people if there's gonna be anybody.
Well, when you say it that way, then I guess because then you're adding, okay, there you got a triumvirate. You know, I guess Jimmy was the third. Jimmy was the big star.
Jimmy was the face of the Heat,
right? But because Jimmy being the face of the Heat, you knew about Tyler, and we saw Bam. Bam is Bam. Everybody loves Bam, like you always say. Everybody knows Bam, but Jimmy was the star. Is there another guy that can be another star? I'm not saying another Jimmy, but just another star, because that's what, if the Heat win and Tyler's putting up good numbers, great or better numbers than he did last year, that was his first year as an all-star, right?
Yep.
Well, if he does it again back to back, Bam picks up his play from last season, the team is winning, you're going to see more nationally televised games. There's no way, because guess what? There's still one dynamic. There's still one all-star in this city of Miami.
Right.
The Heat are winning. People are going to want to come to Miami, and they're going to want to televise games because the biggest star of all of South Florida is the city of Miami.
And you know what's funny about all this? I was trying to think.
That's part of that.
That's one of its tools.
That's one of it. That's the asset of Miami. Astron, that's it. But yeah.
We'll take
I was thinking about when I played, did I care as much about nationally televised games? And then I realized when I was in Minnesota, we played a lot. We played at 4:00 or 7:00 or Monday night almost every week.
15-1.
Yeah. You were literally John Madden's favorite player, dude. Like, you're not a good barometer on this. Sorry.
You're just backing up our point. When you win, people are gonna watch.
Yeah. We'll take a break here on the program. We're back after this. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM, WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Got Dolphins in action tomorrow against the Lions. Preseason game, pot deux.
I wish the starters would play a little bit, but the problem is it's not the starters that you want, right?
You
They're
think he's
still
gonna-
banged up front.
You think he's going to play, though? Like, he's going to play the young guys, right? Like Patrick Paul.
Yo, yeah. You got to get
Those
reps.
guys are going to play. When he says the ones aren't going to play, that's Tyreek, Waddle, Tua, Sealer. Like your big money guys aren't going to play. A-Chan, yeah. You're going to get a heaping of those. You'll get some Ollie Gordon, maybe a little bit more. I'm excited to see him. That's probably the guy I'm most excited to see.
I was telling people, size doesn't make you a tough runner. And I think so many times we look at the size of a running back and determine whether he's a bruiser or not. You can be a smaller back and be a physical runner. And I think as far as like right now, besides what Madison, A-Chan has been probably the second most physical runner as far as being production, hitting gaps and stuff like that.
Right. You've been impressed with him.
Yes.
Schmeathan goes, Tobin is Ali Gordo. Such a bastard.
I miss Schmeathan on Monday, bro.
He's such a bastard. I really
I'm happy he's back.
He's just such a bastard. You know, he's coming, he's dropping bombs early on a Friday.
For Texter.
You know the English language kicks our ass, right?
Oh, are you talking about the TV?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Here's what I don't understand. And we have to sit here as athletes after every game and sit in a room and answer questions, mostly about what you did wrong and how you screwed up.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All these television people, put it out there. This is what so-and-so said. Oh, they write about it. They tweet about it, whatever. My question is, how do you treat a professional who has time before they put it on the screen and still screw it up? This is not random. Oh, quick. Let's get Penix's name up there.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about, dude. That was not what I was talking about.
You're talking about
X
marked the spot.
You're talking about Michael Penix Jr.
You're talking about X not marking the spot.
That was crazy.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
Are you absolutely like?
It was bound to happen.
How can we look at these people that are supposed to be reporting on our profession? How can we take them serious ever?
Well, I don't think
time to think. I always tell reporters, you have time to think about what question you're going to ask, and that's what you came up with.
Well, I don't think that was a very big market news station either. I think that was like a smaller Georgia news station that messed that up.
You can't mess that up.
No, you can't mess that up. I mean, I agreed.
This is the second year. You can't mess that up, man. You can't.
No, that's not the television screw up I thought you were referring to.
What's the television screw up you're referring to?
We got a different one?
There's two.
You familiar with Udonis Haslem?
UD40.
Yeah.
Big TV star. TV star now.
OG podcast.
And he was talking on NBA Today about schedule release and a little bit about the Atlanta Hawks. Well, he had a little trouble with Hawks young big man Zachary Ricochet.
So he remixed it.
He had a wee bit of trouble.
You got your young coin, Jalen Johnson, and Rosh Hashanah, however you say his name. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Zachary Rashashi. You have all these pieces. Now, are you going to make Atlanta? Listen, I messed up his name. I'm sorry. Listen, don't be mad at me, Perk. I took a page out your book.
He said Zachary Rosh Hashanah.
Let me get my yarmulke. Let me get my yarmulke.
Wait, hey, Tobin. For real, Tobin.
Yep.
The next time he comes on, you got to get him because he called you out about getting up that wall.
Listen, that was something.
You got to get him.
You gotta play that again. You gotta play that again.
And Rosh Hashanah, however you say his name, excuse me, I'm sorry. Rashashi, Zachary Rashashi. You have all these pieces.
Wait, you know it's bad when the people he doing the show with can't contain themselves.
You can't contain yourself. He's trying to deflect. He goes, "Shut up, Perk."
Yeah, because Wayne Perk.
Oh,
Dude, he called him a Jewish holiday. Everybody get your
Oh
yarmulkes
my
out.
goodness.
And Rosh
my God.
Hashanah, however you say his name, excuse me, I'm sorry. Rashashi, Zachary Rashashi. You have all these pieces.
Oh, even a second. Wait.
nope.
Wait,
What's the words?
wait. So that's
got
when you
full
need
frog.
somebody on the show like Frog Boy.
No, even you finish that off. Wow.
Oh, hey, now that's still not as bad as penis,
Oh, but no, listen, putting Michael
Because-
Penix Jr. is worse.
especially when like we all mispronounce names every now and then because we didn't know if it was A-Chan or A-Chain or
Yep.
whatever. All right, so like yeah,
You know what's
you
going to
can
happen?
mess up a name,
Because now you've
but I'm
given.
gonna tell you.
To a tackle of Leroy.
Oof.
See, the thing about it is, here's the problem. If you look at the name, if you look at Tua's name, you can't try to pronounce it.
Oh, no.
You got to just say it like he said to say it, and don't worry about the lettering, the writing, or nothing. So you say, Tua, how do you say your name? And then you you try to look at the letters and you say, well, the letters don't read
He
like
throws
that.
listen, the G with the Samoan culture will throw you for a loop. Maui Noah throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. That's how it is. That's how it is.
Oh my goodness.
But man, that's good. Sorry,
Oh.
UG.
And Rosh Hashanah, however you say his name, excuse me, I'm sorry. Rashashi, Zachary
Rashashi.
Rashashi.
Wait. So here's the problem. Here's where
Rishashi.
So here's what happened. Once he apologized for mispronouncing his name, don't follow up.
Who's spraying in the
What,
background?
is there like a spray going on in you?
Yeah.
No,
Like an auto spray or something?
that's not me.
You sure it's not you?
Uh-uh.
Sure.
Positive.
It sounded like somebody was spraying.
That's
Should
not me.
you open up her mic or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh, weird.
So anyway, when he apologized and then took another crack
I'm
at it,
sorry.
that's when it got the laughter. Like if he had just apologized and just kept it going, but he apologized and took another swing at it.
Yep. Mm-mm.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
And Rosh Hashanah, however you say his name, excuse me, I'm sorry. Rashashi, Zachary Rashashi. You have all these pieces.
Zachary? That's not even his name, right?
What?
It's Ricochet.
Zachary
No,
Ricochet.
Oh, Zachary Ricochet.
So here's the problem. When he apologized, everybody was like, yeah, that name kicks my ass too. But then when he took another stab at it, that's when everybody's like, oh, no, just until you have confirmation, don't say it.
Man, we'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Hour Tua is next. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM, WQAM. Take you guys up until 2. Let's get to our headlines here. Brought to us by Doral Volkswagen. Doral VW just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast, we're checking for a crater. Volkswagen price like they've lost their mind. Doral VW, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one. Miami Dolphins are back at it tomorrow. 1 o'clock from Detroit Rock City. 11 a.m. is game day uncensored. We'll get you ready for all the backup action.
Is there any games tonight?
Yes, there are 2 games tonight, Leroy.
Okay, because it's weird because most preseasons, they have games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very few games on Sunday. But last week, we had a whole bunch of games on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know. But there are 2 games tonight. We have Titans and Falcons. It's a little Cam Ward action.
Oh, against Michael Penix?
Against Michael Penix. Man, how could they set him up like that? Now that's going to be someone's going to have a giant cardboard sign.
I mean, they probably
with
already
the
had it.
screenshot. Yeah, but now you have an official.
Yeah, you have
No Photoshop needed, Vlad.
You have a newscast mess up. Yeah.
Oof. Chiefs and Seahawks at 10 o'clock. You going to stay up for that one? NFL Network.
Is Patty playing?
I don't know.
Yeah, he plays his guys. He plays his guys the first 2, and then they don't play the last one.
The three preseason games has become a weird dance with everybody.
I love it.
So my question is this. Why don't they give a preseason break during preseason?
What do you mean?
What?
Like have a off week. So you play 3 games in 4 weeks.
Right.
But to have 2 weeks before you play your first game is really too long to not be playing football.
I get what you're saying. So you're saying like do the break next week, then
And
return
then
for a dress rehearsal.
Have like 3 practices against another team, and then have a preseason game the following week.
Interesting.
Why,
I don't
Vlad, 2 weeks before the season starts is really long.
I'm cool with that.
And, all right.
I'm cool with that. If they've just played 3 weeks and they're about to embark on a 17-game season, I can take 2 weeks off. This college football.
But here's the Vlad. You don't get ready for football by not playing football. Like, I get the season is long, and I get all that. But explain to me then, and I don't have the answer. I really don't. I think it's maybe because guys are bigger and stronger and faster. I'm just trying to come up with an answer. Same answer I can't come up with for pitching. Why do we think it's healthier to cut back on the preparation of the season? Because it seems like we're getting more injuries early on in the season than we've ever gotten.
Well, I think this is the problem though, right? Like they keep negotiating for more regular season games, and the only counter to it from the players is less training camp, less practice. Like that's really that's what it's come down to is they want, I'm sure if the coaches had their way, they'd love to have more prep, but players aren't going to sign up for more of that, especially if we're going in the direction of 18 weeks of this stuff.
But here's my whole thing with all of this stuff is that find some data on it, right? Like there's guys in the NFL that will never be tackled, never break a tackle, and never have a confrontation physically with another NFL player until the first week of the season, which means you have gone 6 or 7 months without getting tackled. How does your body prepare for that?
I don't know.
And that's my point, is that
I don't know.
while we talking about we don't want injuries and we don't want that, you got to learn how to fall. You got to learn what it feels like to have that ball snatched from you. You got to learn what it feels like to break a tackle. You don't just go out there and say, hey, it's Wednesday, I'm going to break a tackle. It doesn't work like that.
But do you think there has to be some give back if they're going to do more games?
Yeah, I do. I do. Listen, I understand the the other side of it. I really do. But I'm saying that, have we not had more injuries at the beginning of seasons because guys haven't played football?
I couldn't
Basically,
say.
they're
I don't
going
know.
7 months without playing football.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you whether or not there's more or less. I don't know.
Injuries are, you know what? I've come to the realization, injuries are injuries. They're going to happen. It's
No,
going to happen regardless.
Vlad,
It's
but
going to happen.
some of the injuries that are happening are like soft tissue injury from not playing football, not running, not getting your body ready for football.
I did see in that Mike McDaniel article that he tried that they are doing something new with the Dolphins this year, because apparently in previous camps, one of the things that he did for pre-snap penalties was make them go run and then come back to practice. And he took that away. He's like, because the guys aren't practicing full speed if I do that. And instead, he's taken that out completely, and players reportedly will just punish themselves and do runs after practice. But that way it doesn't slow down practice. Right. But I don't know. I think everybody's trying to figure this stuff out. But I will say, Leroy, like, one thing that may be good or maybe bad, they've never had more information on where these guys are health-wise. Like, they put heart rates on them. They have all, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the situation.
You can have all the heart monitors in the world, okay? But there is no substitute for being tackled. There is no substitute for tackling. There is no we've seen it throughout football at every level. Is because we don't have as much contact that when the season starts, everybody's breaking tackles. Nobody can tackle. Guys are getting banged up as soon as they get hit. So you gotta and you gotta prepare your body for it. Like Vlad, there's no other way of doing it. Like, you're not gonna know what it feels like to be tackled unless you're tackled.
The question was, what is it too long after the last preseason game to the first regular season game?
Yeah,
that was the question.
Right,
that was it.
Right,
and I think it was not. It's actually really, it's like a bye week, if you really think about it.
So my question is,
everybody gets a bye week.
So my question is, would it be better for football if you had it between weeks 2 and 3? And then had some kind of football the week before the season starts so that you can start the season off better?
It might be better, but it's not going to happen because it's already like, here's why, Leroy, and these aren't going to be good reasons that you like, but that first week, that's a college football week, and they're going to use the whole week because that whole Labor Day weekend has become, and so the TV partners aren't going to do it. So
no,
I get you. Like,
I understand. My whole conversation is solely based on the NFL. It's not based on all the other deals that everybody has going on. Those deals came after we went to this 3-game
it's
with
really
the week off.
Leroy, because here's the thing. If they're only playing 3 preseason games and you're going to get 2 weeks off, which game is your dress rehearsal?
They're not even doing that anymore, though.
That's on the teams. Then that's not. I don't think it's on the players. That's on the teams. That's on the.
I'm speaking of football in general.
Right? But
I'm speaking of football in general. When we see all the things that are happening in football and how sloppy football looks early on in the season, right? And how guys can't tackle and guys are dropping the ball because they haven't been hit. Like, listen. Let me be clear. I hated camp, right? I thought it was terrible, right? But there was
Belichick's camp.
Oh my goodness, he was the worst.
Every day was dress rehearsal.
Yes, we practiced in shoulder pads and helmets the day before preseason game.
2 days, 5 times a week.
Okay, but when I was in Minnesota, we never had 2 days in full pads. So I know I've had both sides of this. But I'm going to say from my own standpoint, there are certain things as a running back you have to go through during camp. You have to be tackled. You got to know how to brace yourself. You got to know how to take a hit. You got to prepare yourself for that. If you go the whole preseason and just thud and know that you ain't never going to get hit, what happens the first game of the season when you really get lit up?
Yeah, right? I'm sure it's going to be a shock to the system.
You can't go 7 months, right? Think about this. It's literally 7 months before a running back, if he doesn't play in the preseason, gets tackled. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but I would also say, like, how many of those guys probably aren't playing? Probably like Derrick Henry, Saquon, like the guys you're really protecting these days
Yeah.
are probably few and far between right now.
yeah, I understand that, but they're on a different level.
But your
Of course.
I wasn't on that level.
Yeah, but your position is very.
It's
Your
different.
position's different.
It's a
You
masochist position.
It's right. You're gonna get contact. You're giving contact. So your position more than anyone needs the physicality while during training camp. The other positions you kind of want to save.
We'll take a break. Tickle Leroy's fancy next. Nah! It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Leroy, I think his computer broke. We're having a day today. We're having a day today, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Friday. Preseason for us, too. Tickle Vlad's fancy?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Starting off tonight, Vlad. The Marlins take on the Red Sox. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Sandman on the hill at Fenway Park. Tickle your fancy?
My fancy is tickled.
Yes, my fancy is tickled. I need the Marlins to beat the Red Sox so my Yankees could surpass the Red Sox in the wild card standing.
That's true.
So yes. And also, who doesn't like to see Fenway? It's one of the best baseball parks in all of baseball.
You ever been?
I've been
a couple times, but not before they did the big renovations.
I haven't seen it. Yes, not after.
I went a while ago. I thought it was a dump.
It's, you know what it is? It's not aesthetically beautiful, but the surroundings. It's like Wrigley. It's just the people. You're either gonna fight them or you're gonna be, or you'll be friendly with them.
It's definitely cool to walk in and look at because
Right.
you're like, this is unlike any baseball that I was used to. Because when I was a kid growing up, I watched it in a football stadium.
Yeah.
And so, and I remember I was just like, wow, it felt more historic because I remember the first time I went to Yankee Stadium, it wasn't like I wasn't blown away by the history of it. I was blown away by the atmosphere.
It's
I was
all
like
about
the
the atmosphere.
The Yankees, it was like, oh man, the people are chanting, everybody's getting the hat tip, but it's like I wasn't like, oh my god, this place is amazing.
No, let me tell you, Yankee Stadium, dump.
But the atmosphere,
the memories and atmosphere in there, yeah, it makes it worthwhile.
I'll tell you another dump. Shea Stadium.
Dump.
Dump.
Jeez.
Woo-hoo. All right. So the Marlins are in action then tonight. What about Serbia versus Czech Republic, Vlad? Getting going this afternoon. Jovic back on the court.
My fancy is tickled.
I love basketball. I'm like you, Tobin. We love basketball. We just want to see basketball. I'm not like you because you have a favorite player that's playing, and it's only a friendly.
Yes, that's true.
You want to see how little Nico's doing. See if he's back. See if he's game got.
We back, baby.
I thought that this was going to be one of those things where, oh, you back?
Yeah, I had to mirror the screen, but I couldn't see.
Mirror the screen, eh?
Yeah, so see, I'm looking up. I'm looking at a big screen, but then it came back in. Yeah, my IT guy came in right away.
Love it. Thank you, IT guy Fonz.
Yeah,
Shout out to Fonz.
Shout out, dude.
Shout out.
Well, we've only done the Marlins, Red Sox, and the Czech Republic versus Serbia. Either
No,
tickle your fancy?
No, I know you wouldn't want to. It doesn't tickle your fancy.
You just spoke on my behalf, Vlad.
Yeah, I just joined Tobin because I knew that Tobin's good. I had to make him feel happy since you're not gonna be there. But since you're back, he can ask you the same question now.
Okay.
Does Serbia, Czech Republic tickle your fancy?
No.
Oh, all right.
When do they play tonight?
I think
fancy,
it's at,
not
I
tickled.
can't figure if it's 3:45 or 4:45.
Well, part of the problem with this whole situation that you got going on here is you are going to great lengths to watch these games, lengths that I am not willing to go through.
Yeah, I also think that I just bought this website.
Did you buy Serbian websites?
And yeah, I did. And they don't get all the games, which is very frustrating. I don't think I get this game tonight.
So you got suckered into buying another streaming.
Yep.
And they don't even get all the games.
I don't even know how to cancel it. There's no console here. No.
You don't even know what monetary denomination you paying in.
You pay all year.
What they use?
Annual
Rubles?
pays.
Rubles?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they use the euro. I think.
So you're paying in euros from here just to watch a little Serbian basketball?
Yo,
Yep.
By the way, Leroy.
Yeah.
A friendly, not even the real deal. Well, I think once Eurobasket starts, I think those are on real TV.
Dude, are you serious?
I'm sorry.
A friendly? You've sent us comments about Jovic and Joker and how they playing, and it's not even real games?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness, dude.
What about tomorrow night in Chicago? UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev against Dricus du Plessis.
Now you know how I feel about this.
Middleweight
Like
championship.
if I'm up,
185.
I will. But a lot of times I watch the undercard on ESPN.
Yep.
And then like when it gets to like 10:30, right when it's about to go down, I'm like concussed. So I can't promise you. Although I'm thinking it's gonna be a pretty good fight.
I understand. It is going to be a good fight. I
Right.
just Vlad and I went over. I'm doing a 4-fighter parlay.
Of course you
I
are.
like it.
I'm doing a 4. I like a lot of dogs this weekend, Leroy. I like a lot of dogs. I'm going Dricus du Plessis. He's a 2-1 underdog as the champ. Jared Cannonier, the Killer Gorilla, against Michael Venom Page.
Is he black?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Killer Gorilla. I have him.
Killer
He's
Gorilla can't be white, right?
No.
Okay.
There actually was a fighter named Chase Sherman. I believe he was Vanilla Gorilla.
But he put the adjective in the front to let us know.
Yes.
Time though.
Yeah.
Killer Gorilla has been doing it for a long time, but I think he's going to beat Michael Venom Page. He's plus 160. Lerone Murphy against Aaron Pico. I'm an Aaron Pico fan, but the Bellator coming over to UFC
Doesn't go well.
has not gone great for the debutantes. So I'm going to go with Lerone Murphy, and then I'm putting our boy Chase Hooper. We had Chase Hooper in here when he was 19. He's a minus 325, but I got those 3 dogs and Chase Hooper plus 2,200.
All right.
So I'm going with that. And then tomorrow, Leroy, 1:00, Dolphins, Lions, preseason game number 2.
I watch these games a little bit differently, right? Like I told you, the next practice wasn't about winning, it was about responding. And now that they know what type of physicality this team plays with, I want to see it in a game environment. I want to see if this trickulates down the roster so that everybody on the Dolphins team understands the type of physicality it's going to take to play one of these teams.
Yep.
And so I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. The fact that guys aren't playing, it's hard for me with this because you got a lot of guys who are out, right? I don't know how you keep getting your offensive linemen depleted.
It's
like
crazy.
they like the same thing over and over again, and you can't even go to Liam Eichenberg.
I know.
So I'm curious to see how they can put it together, but more importantly, I want to see the physical aspect of that progression. I want to see where that is. You're not going to see the most physical version of it right away, but I will say this. This is a perfect game for 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 1st and 10 inside the 10 for Mike McDaniel to say, hey,
let's do something.
This is what we doing. We ain't passing it. We running. Make his point. This is the perfect time to do it.
That is Tickle My Fancy. Take a break. Heat schedule is out. Talked on the Locked On Heat podcast host, Wes Goldberg, next. Welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM WQAM. Taking you guys up until 2 here on the program. Get back into the Dolphins in just a bit. But the Miami Heat, they had their schedule release yesterday. Not too many national games. Let's talk about it with Locked On Heat's Wes Goldberg here. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. And there we got Locked On Heat host Wes Goldberg. What's going on, Wes?
What's going on, guys?
What are we doing with frosted tips? You on your way to the Keys or something?
Frosted tip. Maybe it's
It
the
looked like
sun.
you
I
got
thought I had to
frosted.
do. I thought I was supposed to do the Toyota hotline from a Toyota. Did I get that wrong?
Where you going on an adventure? You got like a weekend adventure going on?
No, just a little adventure. An adventure to Broward County.
I love it. I love it, buddy. Well, thank you for making time for us in your adventures today. So yesterday, Heat schedule comes out. We'll get to the national TV games in just a sec. Was there something that popped to you besides the lack of national TV games that right off the bat with this schedule that came out for Miami?
Yeah, the beginning of it, right? 5 out of the first 8 games all on the road, and tough road games too. I mean,
Right.
these aren't walkovers. I mean, you have 2 games in LA against the Lakers and the Clippers. You've got one against the Nuggets. You've got one against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Those are all tough places where Miami has struggled to play, especially Denver. This team is going to be tested really early in this schedule.
Yeah,
Would you rather get that trip out of the way, though?
Yeah, so we were talking about this on Locked On Heat yesterday, and I kind of see it, but you would like a little bit of a warm-up, I think, before you kind of get into that, especially with some new moving pieces and stuff. But you know what Eric Spoelstra and this team are going to say. They're going to say exactly, they're like, hey, we're going to get tested early. We embrace the challenge, Heat culture, Spoisms here and there, sprinkle those throughout, and then but I think there's pros and cons to it, right? Like there is a sense of urgency right off the bat, which is not something that this team has necessarily had over the last couple of years.
Well, the thing I like is that hopefully at least you'll have a healthy team at that point in the season. When they've made this trip in the past, they've made it with 8 guys. And so maybe you will get a different, at least idea of what can be done or what this team can be, because it's relatively early and you'll have health.
Yeah, and look, I think this is one of the deeper teams that the Heat have had in a couple of years here. So it'll be an opportunity for them to test that depth. It'll be an opportunity for them to kind of figure out, okay, like, what are we? Are we good enough in the Eastern Conference to really compete? And to your point, like you can get some of these tougher games out of the way early, but you know, it's a kind of a weird schedule anyway. They have another 5-game road trip later in the season, but that's against some of those more cupcake type of teams like Portland and teams like Utah. Those kinds of teams that are a little bit easier. Sacramento is on that trip as well. So yeah, I think you get part of it out of the way. It's a tough schedule in the beginning too. Like they get back. They play Charlotte and Portland after those first 8 games, and then they play the Knicks twice and the Cavs twice. So it's a rough start to the schedule, but at the same time, it should lighten up for them, you know, in the second half of the year.
So one thing that obviously stood out to a lot of fans, not a lot of national exposure, only 5 national TV games with the new TV package and all that. Do you feel like the Heat take that as any kind of a message to them, or do you feel like it shouldn't be a surprise with where they've been the last couple of years?
If they're surprised, I don't know why they would be. I mean, they lost their superstar player in Jimmy Butler. They got routed in the playoffs last year. They didn't look like a playoff team in the postseason last year. Yeah, I don't think that they should be surprised. Now, to the first part of your question, will they use it as motivation? 100%. They're going to use it as motivation. They're going to do the nobody believes in us. We're always overlooked. This is exactly where we want to be. And by the way, I think that's true. To me, I look at maybe the biggest motivation for them is the Las Vegas over-under has them at like 38.5 wins. And I think they're going to look at that and be like, hey, we haven't lost that many games in a year that wasn't sort of derailed by a Jimmy Butler trade demand in 10 years. Like, we don't do that. Right. We don't lose that many games. I think there's plenty of motivation for them going into this season. You combine the win totals, you combine the lack of national TV exposure, you combine that urgency that they're going to have to start the schedule, we're going to learn a lot about this team because they didn't show that level of passion or urgency last year. And I think for a team that I think a little bit wrongly, there was sort of a narrative around this group about, oh, they've proven that the regular season doesn't matter. It's all about the playoffs. I don't think they ever truly believed in that. But they didn't necessarily show that either in the regular season. And now they have to show it.
We know who's responsible for that. That's
Yes, of course.
your man Tobin right here.
What?
Who's leading the charge of the playoff Jimmy.
That's
and
not
don't
fair.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
How can you say that I am that guy? I'm watching Serbia, Czech Republic later today. Everything matters to me.
Playoff Nico.
I don't even do. Have you found any of these Serbian websites to try and watch these
Nobody's
games?
watching this.
It's pretty scary. I don't know how to. It's hard to log on to those websites.
I can't even get onto Euro Hoops without feeling like they're taking my social security.
They probably are.
No, they probably
But
are.
it's worth it.
Well, I guess this is the question because we know about the talent. Like, I'm not surprised the Heat are where they are with the national team. Do you feel like we were talking about this a little earlier? Do the Heat have a guy that will draw in the crowd nationally? Like, is there a talking point? Because Tyler and Bam, we know they're good. This is not a declaration on their talent. We know they're very talented. It's not always talent. It's like, is there going to be a guy? Is it Kel'el? Is it a Nico Leap? Do they have anything on this roster? Because Norman Powell is like even the perfect Heat guy because he's very good, but I don't know how many people are paying to watch Norman Powell play. So, like, do you feel like any of the young guys can become that for Miami, or is it another jump from Tyler that could like draw the nation back in to make the Heat a spectacle?
The short answer is no. I don't think that player is on the roster, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the roster isn't good enough to make compelling TV, to play good in entertainment basketball games. But there's a difference between talent and TV product, right? Like Melo Ball is a TV product, right? He's a high jersey sale guy, but he doesn't impact winning in any meaningful way in Charlotte. And yet kids will tune into Hornets games and try to find the LaMelo Ball highlights from the few games in a season that he actually does play. So, I think that Tyler Hero can take another leap. Bam can take another leap. That the rest of the roster and its depth can put together a good basketball product. But in terms of, hey, this is the guy that we're going to sell to NBC, Peacock, Amazon Prime, ESPN, they don't have that kind of star power roster. And I think the Heat know it because I don't know if you guys watched that like 4-minute video announcing the fact that the schedule was announced. Like Davion Mitchell is the headliner. He just got here. And Davion Mitchell's like the main character in this schedule release video. So I think they're just sort of looking for everything right now.
You think it's a situation where we've seen teams have success without that mega star, right? And it's still, even if they have success, because they don't have that mega star, it's going to be hard for the country to warm up to them. Even if they were to win a championship, it will still be kind of has that, like, we're going to look back after the fact and go, those guys were really good. Kind of like we did Detroit. Remember when Detroit won with
right.
a whole bunch of guys.
Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think with success we get more eyes.
I think you're seeing that even with OKC this last year, right? Like Oklahoma City has a star player. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the best player in the league last season. And yet I don't know that he's a star. Like he's not a celebrity in the way that people are going out and buying his jerseys a ton, that he's in a ton of different commercials. Like he's got that one AT&T commercial, I think it is. And that's like it. He's not a big celebrity, not a big superstar draw, but the Thunder are on national TV 34 times because they're the defending champions. They're really good.
Right.
And people are figuring out, like they're getting hip to the Thunder being good. And it took them literally winning a championship in order for that to happen. They were the 1 seed 2 years ago. They weren't on national TV that way. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been this good for a couple of years, but it took them winning the whole thing in order for people to really recognize that. And now that's the selling point, right? We're the defending champs. Come take the belt. Like that's the compelling TV draw that gets them on national TV. So I think the Heat, I think they're going to be better than people expect this year. I really do. I don't know that they're not going to win the championship. I don't think that they're a contender, but I think they're going to win 40 plus games and they're going to be a decent basketball team. And people will probably like watching them more than they think. But yeah, they're going to have to really put all of this together at some point eventually, superstar or not, in order to kind of get that national sort of recognition and exposure.
Is this a talent thing or a health thing? because the last couple of years they've been decimated at the wrong possible times with injuries. And I would say that if everybody was healthy, you would have seen a different Heat team. But for the last, 3-4 years, they can never be healthy at the biggest moments of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right about the last couple of years. I think it was a health thing, specifically with Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that the two things are mutually exclusive. Like the best ability is availability, right? Like you could argue health is a skill, health is a talent. And Jimmy Butler just wasn't healthy enough during the regular season, and then they ended up being in the play-in tournament in three of the 3 last years, and that just kind of puts them behind the 8 ball. It puts them at a disadvantage going into the postseason, as we saw last year, getting wiped by the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers, and then the year prior, same thing happened to the Boston Celtics. Like you're not doing yourself any favors when you're doing it that way. Now, though, I do think it's a talent issue. They don't have that apex superstar player who you throw the ball to, get out of the way, and he can go take care of things. So it's just that you need that player in the postseason, right? Like as great as Bam is, as Tyler Hero is, as some of these other guys are, they don't really have that guy who can just do it all himself and that sort of North Star that, again, they could throw the ball to. He can kind of just figure it out. He can run the offense. He is the offense. He is the system. They don't really have that. That's the guy that they're missing.
Talking to Wes Goldberg, host of the Locked On Heat podcast. Well, before we get you out of here, man, there's been a lot of talk over the last couple of weeks about Tyler Hero's contract, teams monitoring it, even other players comparing to what Tyler's going to get. How interesting do you think that storyline is going to be this year about what Tyler Hero's money is going to be, where he ends up getting, and then like the idea that he's kind of this measuring stick for some other young guys in the league?
Yeah, he was that way when he signed the last deal, right? You saw a guy like RJ Barrett sign his contract, and Hero signed his. So he's always been sort of that measuring stick because he's a really interesting, he's an interesting measuring stick in that way because he was sort of the 6th man of the year. Could he be a starter? And then he's a fringe all-star. And then last year he becomes an all-star. And I do think that, that are you better or worse than Tyler Hero? I think that's a fair kind of place to be. Now, whether or not his extension gets signed before the season is a talking point. I think it's interesting. The most interesting thing about it is I think we're entering an era in this NBA, like this new apron world, where players like Tyler Hero, like a Zach LaVine or a Bradley Beal or something like that, they used to just get the max money. They just got it. The organizations just gave it to them. Everybody was happy. There was no negotiations. Either you were a max guy or you weren't. And if you were close to it, they gave it to you, and then you just kept moving on, and then you just sort of dealt with it later. You can't afford to do that if you're an organization anymore. And if the Heat, with 1 max player already in Bam Adebayo, if they give Tyler Hero the full max, it's going to be 60% of their cap tied up into 2 players. And, Bam and Tyler Hero are very good. They're not good enough where you can have those 2 guys representing 60% of your cap. And so the Heat are going to have to make a decision. Now, they've already paid Bam, so they're not going to be able to afford to pay Tyler Hero the max amount of money and build a roster around them. And that's why I think it's interesting because of what Tyler Hero sort of represents. And there's other players like this, right? But Tyler Hero, for our purposes, sort of represents this new era of team building that we're kind of getting into, and fans who follow this kind of stuff are learning about it as they're getting walked through it by their own team. So I think the Heat are going to figure out, okay, like this is how we got to build. You're going to have to, like I said before, there used to be no negotiations. Now there's a negotiation. It's going to look a little bit more like the NFL, I think, where it's like, we could pay you all this, but we don't really want to because we got to do all these other things. Can we bring you down? And then when do players start kind of accepting that and figuring out, okay, this is sort of the new reality. We don't just get the money the way that we used to go get it.
Is this a big year for the young players? Because if you're going to do this with Tyler, then a guy like Jovic, a guy like Kel'el, Jaime, David, all these guys are going to have to really perform to kind of make the Heat comfortable with having this, kind of method of re-signing Tyler. If they're not any good, then you have a whole nother conversation that you might only have 2 players to start your team with.
It's such a great point, right? Because are you young, or do you just have a couple of young guys that you kind of like? Are you a young core that you're building with, or are you just sort of nowhere waiting for something better to show up? This is a huge year for all the young guys. I think it's a huge year for Kel'el, who, up and down in Las Vegas. They need to see more from him, certainly, and they need to see a big leap. And they've got a lot invested into Kel'el as the starter next to Bam Adebayo. It's a big year for Nikola Jovic because Tyler Hero's not the only one up for an extension. So is Nico, right? And so he'll be a restricted free agent next summer. There's a lot of money potentially on the line for Nikola Jovic to make here. And then for Jaime Jaquez Jr., he's coming off of a sophomore slump. He has to be better. They need some of these. And Pelle Larson, he's been good, but is he an every night rotation NBA level player? So there's a lot of questions for these guys to answer. And when you look at the depth chart, they're a big part of it. So are the Heat deep? Are they not? The Heat have a lot of players who are interested in that are worth talking about. We don't know how many rotation guys they actually have until this season actually starts and they actually show the improvement that they need to see from them. It's a huge year for everybody. And so the answer to your question, Leroy, is yes. I mean, this is what it looks like when you exit an era and start a new one. It's a big year for everybody on the roster. Are you a part of what's next or are you not?
Go check out Wes's work. Wes Goldberg, Locked On Heat podcast, YouTube, all your podcast platforms, Real GM Radio as well. It does some great work. Go follow him on all the social media platforms. Thanks for the time, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Wes.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. We'll take a break. Continue on here on a Friday. We're back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Almost did it. 104.3 FM, WQAM. It's Friday.
Much to say, man.
You see, Wes had those frosted tips.
He did have frosted tips. It was just lighting.
I know. I know.
Felt like I was seeing.
He has
in syncing or Backstreet.
Yeah.
He has great hair. He has great hair. There's no doubt about that.
He also had his summer skin. Because when basketball season hit and he got to spend all that time chasing basketball at night
In the bowels of
the arena
of the Kaseya Center.
he gets very light.
I'm gonna tell you something about that Kaseya Center. Cold. Especially on that media row. They blow that AC right there. It's feeling like ice tray. Let's get to headlines here, brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral VW just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast, we're checking for a crater. Volkswagen's priced like they've lost their minds. Doral VW, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one. Miami Dolphins, they're back at it tomorrow against the Detroit Lions. They had a couple joint practices. Played a lot better yesterday. Everybody can calm down. Calm down, everybody.
I mean, we have to stop. Like the football team you see now is not going to be the football team you see in December. And you hope you don't. You hope you see progress during the course of the season. Now, you wanted to come with wins. So let me be clear. You wanted to come with wins, but you want to see your team getting better as the season moves on. We've had a few years here where the team has gotten off the great starts and then November, December hit, and it's some terrible football. So just calm down, everybody.
It's exhausting already. It does feel like even, the Bears practice, the first drive, losing the first Lions practice, everybody is jumping off a cliff with this team already. And look, I get it. This is a big year. There's a lot of jobs on the line. All that, but it is what it is right now. Like, this is the team that you got. You're not going in some different direction. You're gonna know. Look, if the Dolphins, trust me when I tell you, I think if the Dolphins do get off to a bad start, I think Mike McDaniel's gonna lose his job. Like, I do think they're gonna hot seat his.
You think they would? But
they're gonna
for the purposes of the team. If you get rid of Mike McDaniel in the middle of the season, you're basically just throwing this.
Yeah, I mean, unless Anthony Weaver can rally the team around everybody, he's got great sideline presence.
Here's the thing, though.
Hmm?
I feel that if Weaves took over, he gonna come in hot like Man Campbell did.
Maybe
because I think everybody can identify that this team needs to play with more physicality, right? It's not just a me thing. It's not just and Anthony Weaver comes from that physical, get in your face, aggressive type of defense.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that every time that he's not around coaching, he's just doing rubber bands, biceps. Like, remember Coach Feld on the strength that gives you that dude's his Popeyes are popping. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
But no, that's gonna be their move. And I'm saying, like, it's gotta be a bad start, Leroy. Like 1-3, 1-4, like they're gonna that would be the case scenario. If they're 500, I don't think
I think people are gonna say that if they start off 2-2.
They should.
But they it's for the life of me, I can't figure out, like, do you want your team to do well or not, right? You can be disappointed, and I'm not getting on fans for being disappointed, right, that your team's not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But to go at it the way that fans have kind of gone after it before they've played a game is ridiculous. I think something very positive that you can take from these last couple of weeks is this team's response.
Yeah, 100%.
To that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a positive thing because we can't think of in the past, would they respond that way? So when you hit these ruts in the middle of the season, you can come back to this moments and say, guys, we have responded,
Right.
to this adversity.
And I do think, like reading the piece in The Athletic yesterday, like he's obviously trying to change some things, like about how he runs a team. Like he's taken a lot of evaluation of this. I think here's what I think Mike McDaniel, I'll tell you what one of his problems was, okay? He was a little bit too much of a star bleeper when he walks in here. I'm going to be the star whisperer. He liked being the guy who could speak to the stars, and I do think that he's like, it's a lot of diva handling. And if you let guys skate here because I'm the cool guy, hey, you got other guys in that locker room that's not going to sit well with. So you got to really find out who the guys you can invest in that you can trust to set the example for everybody.
I would say this, that Bill Belichick was cool with certain guys. Like Pepper Johnson could do no wrong. LT could do no wrong. Carl Banks could do no wrong. All guys he was with in New York. But one of the reasons why was because he didn't have to worry about them not doing, not towing the line, is what I would say. Mike McDaniel's come in and has been cool with the stars, and they took that as an opportunity to do what the hell they want. And so it kind of had a negative effect on everybody. So there's different ways to go about it, and you can't just deem somebody. Listen, the best players aren't your leaders. Stop assuming that. Stop assuming if a guy's a good football player, he's a leader on that team. That's not the case. So stop saying it. But that being said, it seems like a lot of guys got responsibilities of a leader because they were good players and not because they were leaders.
MacMan says Simone Fontecchio catching a lot of lobs for Italy is insane. I've been saying, dude, he's Italian Blake Griffin. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying, dude.
Wait.
That's what I've been saying. They don't call him the gondola for nothing.
Dude, you need to stop. First of all, I'm banning you from watching European basketball.
You can't ban me from that.
Yes, you're banned.
Why?
Because
this was one thing we are worried about, the health of Tyreek Hill. This was Mike McDaniel discussing why Tyreek Hill did not practice against the Lions. Here he was.
If Tyreek didn't have to answer to anybody, he would have practiced yesterday. And I fear we might be talking about an injury that's a lot longer term. He wanted to practice. However, he had to give honest feedback when asked direct questions to our training staff and myself. In that competitive nature, he was very much at risk for an injury that would keep him out a lot longer than he's been out right now. So, I think I'm just happy that our training staff understood the magnitude of a further or a bigger aggravation of something and was proactive. I think you'll see Waddle today. I don't think you'll see Tyreek based on that, but 100% is on our training staff and myself, because he absolutely wants to practice, but trusts us enough to know that we're trying to help him.
There you go, Mike McDaniel before practice yesterday.
All right, Mike. Okay. It's camp, right? I'm not going to read too much into it. And Tyreek plays a position that all the things that I talked about earlier are not necessarily a part of what he does. However, the timing between Tyreek and Tua, they got to get that together. That's what practice is for. And I don't like at any point in time in any sport where guys say, don't worry, I'll be ready. Because every sport, man, you got to go through certain things, right? That time in between Tyreek and Tua, that's a real thing. He is faster than most guys. So when you release the ball, when you throw it up, when you hit that crossing route, that's going to be different for Tyreek than any other player because of his speed and his ability to get in and out of breaks. So, yeah, I know they're being extra cautious because like things like hammies with wide receivers or DBs, you don't want those things lingering.
Kentucky Finn says, hey, McCochin, the fewer words, the better.
Somebody called him Mike McRambles.
And then Jay Gatto says, Tobin is Blake Griffin's twin brother, Blake Muffin. Such a bastard. We'll take a break here on the show. That, by the way, was our training camp update, and our Odyssey sports training camp coverage is brought to you nationally by Geico. Switch and save, get more with Geico. Take a break. More Tobin and Leroy after this. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM, WQAM. Got Vlad producing with us here today. Jennifer, I don't know where she is. It's Friday. Be here in like 20?
Next segment.
Next segment, yeah, 10:30, 12:30.
12:30, 12:40. That's her time.
We got Dolphins in action tomorrow. Game Day Uncensored is joining, is back at it.
Question for you.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Yes.
Because I did that for a year or two
Mhm.
early on in my infancy with the station.
Sure.
Frito.
Who did you do it with? Okay.
I love Frito.
And
Wait a minute, time out.
Wait, did you do pre or post?
Hold on.
both.
Tobin,
You
time
did
out, time out,
both?
time out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
Leroy did a show
Mm-hmm.
with Frito,
Yeah.
and I give credit to my man for doing what he needs to lose weight and everything. But you're a shamer. I know you shamed him. You can't even hold a smile. You shamed that man so
All
bad.
right. No. Because here's what I experienced during my times with Frito. So we would bring lunch in. We'd do the pregame. And then during the game, we would, watch the game. And I'd be trying to break it down to something. He wasn't having it. He didn't want to hear what I had to say. But then we get to halftime. He always had some pad thai from what's the place with the
There was
Chinese.
a Thai place near there?
No, not Thai, but he would bring it from the famous one, the chain.
Payway?
PF Chang's.
PF Chang's. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know a famous Thai place.
And a Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And he would drink that Diet Coke and eat that PF Chang's. And I'll be looking over at him. And then he start going. And I'm like, he about to implode.
Yeah, I know you didn't. I know you didn't. You didn't hold back.
No, I was like,
You were a good boy.
yeah. I like Frito.
You were in Lent mode.
No, it wasn't that. It was just I was just worried. He was very gassy. But I did it. I did it with him for I think a couple of years.
Yeah. So what did you want to ask me about it?
It's gassy.
So I want to ask you. I found it extremely difficult to do pregame and postgame with a 90-man roster.
Mm-hmm.
Because when that third and fourth quarter hit, I'm like, y'all asking me for comments. I don't know what to tell you. I say what I do is I watch the overall tenor of the team.
Right.
Because the sign of a good team is regardless of when you go in the game, you play a certain way. Right.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you know me. I'm a football junkie, and I certainly got
when them guys coming in the fourth quarter, you don't know who they are.
I know who they are, dude.
You got your card? You got
First
a card?
of all, it's a very easy. I don't have to do post game. That's Dan Day. Dan Day. Vlad, are you on with post this week? All right, so Vlad will be there too,
Yes,
and they take calls, so they got to react to it. But me, I'm more setting up
preseason.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
You got to sit back and relax. That's the way to do it. You just
My
don't
whole
go
thing
those
would
phone
take
lines and you put it on cruise control.
The thing that made it hard for me taking calls in post game, some of the time what people thought was happening during the game wasn't really happening. Like it was really something else as the cause to what went good or bad.
Right.
And so I tried to explain that.
So you try to be reasonable with post-game callers?
It's not even being reasonable. But I just think you want to know the reasons why things happen.
Yeah, well, I think most people just want to fire people.
Bro, the man played
You know?
one possession. One possession.
Huh?
Tua played one possession, Leroy.
Yep.
One possession to it. Tobin.
Yep.
And all the text messages, all the YouTube messages.
Freaking out.
We got to. Tua's not the quarterback. He's not our quarterback. I'm like, wait, what? Time out. What did he do? Like, literally, what did he do? He's 5 for 6.
But that's my point, Vlad.
And you're saying, and look, you know where my allegiance resides with. But you're making me now defend Tua like, nah, you guys are ridiculous. It's training camp.
Right.
Preseason game 1, he's only there for one possession, and he does exactly what you would want him to do. He takes you on a 15-play drive. And then I look all the comments down here. Oh, we're not going to win. Our quarterback stinks. And I'm like, whoa.
Especially a drive that ended intentionally with them running the ball the entire time.
Which was the other point that needed to be made during camp. And people want the team to be more physical and tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are the moments where you have to force that issue.
I would say, though,
deal with the consequences.
But to get to your point, am I doing bubble battles about like the 53 man? No, I mean, like, first of all, the Dolphins have a lot of young guys to talk about anyway. Like, they got Kenneth Grant, they got Savai Naya, they got a new, they got Patrick Paul taking over as left tackle. We got a quarterback, not really battle anymore. I mean, I think some people were going into this. Hey, is this a battle between Ewers? Ewers, maybe he'll play a lot better, but Ewers clearly. That was not his best foot in his first performance. Not that Zach Wilson was Joe Montana, but I think you can clearly see one is very young and needs some cooking.
Right.
Some seasoning.
I just think I always say this, that when you have a good team, right, that means, and mostly on defense, if you can stop the other team from scoring, you can get after the football, get after the quarterback. If you can do those things, your offense doesn't have to be the greatest show on turf.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we sometimes, the cop-out in all of this as to why our team isn't good is we don't have a quarterback. And if you go throughout the history of football, you will see that there's a lot of guys that won Super Bowls that we were sitting there looking at like, okay. I mean, like, okay, is Trent Dilfer a Hall of Famer? Brad Johnson? Right? I mean, hell, we could go to Joe Flacco. Right?
And by the way, can I tell you something? I can't believe these Browns are starting Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco doesn't like his family.
I don't understand, dude. Like,
I know he just wait. He this basically Joe Flacco decided to leave his family and go do yard work.
I don't understand. Like, he had this last 6 weeks 2 years ago with the Browns where
that gave him 3 more years.
And he was like, "Oh, I want to keep doing it." Why? I remember when he was the Jets quarterback and his son was wearing Tyreek Hill jerseys to the game.
How about when he was the Broncos quarterback and he went on a tirade? Yeah. So bad that they were like, all right, we're gonna sit you for the rest of the year. You got a back injury. We're gonna sit you down and we're gonna play
was it Lock?
Yeah, they're gonna play Drew Lock. But that's because he went off on him. Joe Flacco, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he doesn't like his family. The man loves his family. But the fact that you don't want to be with your family at 41 years old when you really should not be playing any type of football, means you don't want to be around your kids. You just don't want to deal with it.
I would say this. Let me give y'all the quick lesson of 2 quarterbacks that will have jobs in NFL forever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
One is Joe Flacco. The other one is Jameis Winston.
Good.
Right?
Big with arms.
When you put them in there and you're in a pinch and you put them in the game, they're going to play 3 or 4 weeks of some of the best football you have ever seen. You're going to be like, why isn't this guy been starting all year?
Then they play another 5 more games. So you realize that.
Set your watch to it.
Hey, Then those other weeks, you're like, what just happened?
I'll tell you one thing though, Vlad. If he doesn't like his family, hopefully his wife doesn't take jujitsu, because the last quarterback who wasn't want to be around his family, she ended up with the jujitsu instructor.
Oh God.
Oh
Ryan
man,
Fitzpatrick was like that. Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's another
Ryan
one.
Fitzpatrick. No, Ryan Fitzpatrick is he was another one that like had the 4 games with Tampa, and he brought the beard, and then like everybody's like, oh my God, this guy does cosplay. Let's have him out there. No, I mean that guy. It's unbelievable how much that guy has turned a mediocre. At least Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, you know.
Right. But you have those guys. You have those guys that like they've shown that stretch, and you immediately think, if our guy gets hurt and I'm in a pinch, he can hold down the fort for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And that's like, you think of that Jameis Winston, you think of even Fitzpatrick, you think of Joe Flacco. There's a couple of guys that you really like believe that the Dolphins are hoping to get that out of Zach Wilson.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if he's got that in him.
Right. Well, he
doesn't strike me as grizzled. He's too much of a pretty boy. I feel like a veteran quarterback. What you're talking about?
He's 12.
Yeah, he looks like a child.
Right.
Like he just doesn't exude. Like I think Quinn Ewers can be. Like Quinn Ewers already looks more gritty.
Quinn Ewers is not bad. Quinn Ewers is not bad, but it takes a minute to get used to those timing throws, throwing to spots. As a quarterback, you're usually throwing to a receiver. Tua is really good at throwing to spots and throwing receivers open. That is something that is not just, you kind of got to get used to that. And I've seen, Quinn Ewers do it, but he's a little off. Yeah, right. So some of the passes are a little high or a little behind the receiver. So he's still thrown to the receiver. He'll pick up on that.
Yeah, but like Zach Wilson already came into this thing. Like, stop trying to be cool as a backup quarterback wearing 0. Okay. You're not Russell Westbrook. All right. You're not Gilbert Arenas. You're wearing 0 as a backup quarterback. What are you doing? Like, stop trying to be fly, dude. Like,
you
that's
just
not
don't like him. So you gonna
I don't like him. It's just like, know your role. Go out there. You wear number 11, or you wear some real quarterback number 0. It's like you're already trying to be a TikToker as a backup quarterback. Enough. Quinn Ewers already got a leg up on that. Yes, you're right. He does have the Joe Flacco arm. Like he'll dazzle. He had a couple nice throws. He also does some boneheaded stuff. I'm not expecting much. I just can't believe he got as much money as he did. I was like, wait, what? He didn't even play last year. He wasn't even the backup. He was the 3rd stringer. He literally got a $6 million guarantee for being the number 2 pick 4 years ago. This is crazy to me.
So what you're saying, Tobin, he's a show pony.
Vlad, you watch him. Is he a show pony?
He's a bit. He's a bit
of a show pony. He's a bit of a show pony.
But it's not his fault. The
guy's not. You know what? But it's certain guys, like when you get drafted that high, you kind of strut your stuff a certain way, right?
And you have to.
Right.
And you have to. But, nobody likes Zach because he's a good-looking man, young man, with money. His family owns, what you call it?
Utah?
Is it JetBlue?
They own JetBlue?
Yeah, they own airline. Yeah, his family got money.
Oh, man.
His uncle, I think owns JetBlue or something like that.
Wow. What's he doing here? Waste of his time.
I mean, right? So did who? Johnny Manziel. Look how that turned out for him.
Oh, man. Yeah, Johnny Manziel. Crazy. We'll take a break. Mix things up with the mixed bag coming up next.
To call me on my. You used to.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Tobin and Leroy here on 104.3 FM. WQAM. Stream it live on YouTube and Twitch. 104.3 WQAM is the handle there. Miami 104.3 WQAM on Twitch. Check that on out. By the way, I want to let you guys know, still got a chance for you guys to win those tickets to Adam Sandler at the Kaseya Center on September 7th. If you guys want to win today's word, Waterboy. Waterboy. Text that to 20357.
That's some good quality H2O.
Text Waterboy to 20357. It's a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Don't text and drive. Tickets are also available at KaseyaCenter.com. Check that on out. Waterboy to 20357. That is your word for today. It is that time. Let us get to the mixed bag. All righty. Well, we already heard today Udonis Haslem channel his inner Kendrick Perkins, which, wow, that was something, UD.
And Rosh Hashanah, however you say his name, excuse me, I'm sorry. Zachary Rashashi. You have all these pieces.
Oof. Well, let's hear from Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins was broadcasting yesterday on the NBA schedule. And this is what Perk had to say on the Western Conference. This is going to be must-see TV. Here's Perk.
Every single game is going to matter in the Western Conference. No slow starts, no guys sitting out, because every single night you're going to have to strap your shoes up. So I'm looking at two teams in the West. I'm looking at the Clippers. I'm looking at the Lakers. It's always fun watching the battle of L.A. The Clippers are still known as the little brothers, although they got their new arena. How's Kawhi going to look? Is he going to be healthy throughout? We know how LeBron James is coming. Seem like he's excited about their roster and the moves that they made. We seeing skinny Luka. Ty Lue feels some type of way. He want to fly under the radar, but yet he'll call me on the phone and tell me keep disrespecting the Spurt, and I'm going to show you. So I'm looking at that matchup, and I'm saying to myself, that's always one, but the entire Western Conference is going to be a battle and a brawl for it all every single night.
Goodness gracious. That's a good sell by Perk.
Well, the West is tougher, especially with the injuries in the East right now.
Dude, they're barely acknowledge. It's like it's Cavs, Knicks, and then they'll kind of acknowledge the Magic.
Right.
I got to tell you one thing though, and I understand why the Heat national TV games are where they are. I can't believe they keep putting these Sixers on national television. I mean, you're just asking. You're just asking
for it.
You're asking for it. You're asking to watch Andre Drummond. Like I don't know what to tell you. Is he still on the Sixers? Where is Andre Drummond these days?
He was on the Sixers last year.
Who do they have? Who the hell is on?
They might be still there because they lost the French guy to the Knicks.
Oh, they did. That's
the 76ers.
He's still on the 76ers. You guys are begging to watch Andre Drummond this year with this team. Goodness gracious. 14 times you're putting him on national TV?
60 games. That's amazing.
Wild, dude. All right. Well, good luck to you.
I would rather watch Tyrese Maxey than certain players on the Heat. I mean,
Tyrese Maxey's a fun player.
Yeah.
But he's going to be by himself, lad. I mean, like, there's going to be no Paul. There's going to be no Paul George. You know he's going to get hurt. Joel Embiid. There's something about Joel Embiid. Like, they're acting like he's barely walking around. Every report that I read about Joel Embiid's like, oof. I'm like, did that bad? What do you mean?
What did he have done?
I don't know. I think he's just.
I'm telling you, when they talk about knees and like the degenerative stuff with knees, they usually get that microfracture. And I'm gonna tell you from firsthand experience, microfracture is harder to heal from than if you tore every ligament in your knee.
But has it improved through time? Because remember, back in the days, when they said microfracture surgery, that was it. You were done. You were done, so.
I was.
No, I mean,
but the surgery is still the same.
Surgery still hurts.
Here's what they do. You have your fibula and your tibia, right? And then you have the cartilage, and then you have the cartilage, and you have bone on bone, right? Or cracks in the cartilage. They go in and they drill a bunch of holes in your femur. It bleeds into the cracks, coagulates, and that's the healing process. But you're non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks. It's the only knee surgery where it's non-weight bearing.
It says he's recovering from arthroscopic from April.
Okay, well, but they don't tell you what they did.
They said, but
they don't tell you what they did.
They just said that he may not be ready for camp. So
right, they didn't tell you what they did. They just they went arthroscopically, but they don't tell you what repairs were made. That's the crazy part.
Word for me, dog.
Right. So you can they repair all the ligaments arthroscopically.
Dana White, UFC president, he's been doing the media rounds after UFC signed their big new deal. He was on the Jim Rome show, and he brought up a take which I don't know if I agree with.
John Jones retired in late June. Do you expect him to stay retired?
Well, he already came back and said he's back, and he already put himself back in the testing pool, saying he wants to fight at the White House. Conor wants to fight at the White House, so he's back. He's back, but we're not talking about fights for him right now.
All right, so if John Jones and Conor both, enormous stars who've been so good for business, if they're coming hard, Dana, we want to do this. We want to do this. We want to do this. Do you trust either one of them to be on that card and to do what they have to do, which look bad?
Conor. I trust Conor.
Trust who?
McGregor has never, ever, unless he is seriously injured, this guy has always delivered. John, I'm a little more skeptical about.
There you go. Dana White on the Jim Rome show. Here's the thing, though, dude. Okay. It's clear that John Jones, maybe he's not that thrilled about fighting Tom Aspinall. He's good. This Conor McGregor ain't fighting. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I trust Conor McGregor more. All right.
Because Conor gave him millions fighting Mayweather.
That may be true. That may be true, Vlad. That may be true. But also, Exhibit A, look at him. He is not looking looking anywhere near like he should fight.
He has that, that other stuff in system glow, like when you always sweating.
Yeah.
Right? He kind of always sweating.
Yeah, he's always sweating. And, we're coming on, 4 years since he's last fought, since he broke his leg. Which, by the way, nobody in fighting comes back from that injury well. Nobody.
No.
Nobody. Anderson Silva kept doing it. I couldn't believe he kept going out there. But
he wasn't the same.
He wasn't the same. Chris Weidman, not the same. It's a horrible injury to have. And he hasn't fought since he broke his leg against Dustin Poirier. I don't know why you would trust him. At least John Jones has fought. Came back and fought. It took a while. I get it. I don't know if I trust either one to babysit my kids. I feel like I'm going to come home and Tommy's going to be wearing a suit, strutting.
I'm going to tell you how you know which one to trust. Leave some booger sugar on the table and see which one's the first one to go after.
They do have the same.
They got the same vices.
Just let Tommy babysit himself.
You might as well.
You're fine.
Tommy might be babysitting both of them.
Yeah.
Listen, I trust John to fight more at the White House than I do Conor. Conor's not fighting again, dude. I don't believe it. And I don't think he should. You know what? He's made a ton of dough. He shouldn't fight anymore.
Nick T said Conor has South Beach in his heart and his nose.
Kid South says Tommy's going to lose a lot more than a water bottle. Recovered it, by the way. He found it. He's redeemed himself.
Or was it in the shelf where all the other ones were?
No, he said he left it in the aftercare room. So the room, the class he goes to while his mom is finishing up her post school work. That's where he found it. So flipping over to the
You got all carried up for nothing.
Nah, not nothing. Not nothing. Crazy. Let's get to this. Bradley Chubb. He is talking after practice, and Bradley Chubb says that Chop Robinson being out there, he just wanted attention.
Oh, huge sigh of relief, man. I saw him. I saw him after practice. As soon as practice ended, I saw him. Being able to walk around and stuff like that. I told him if he wanted some attention, man, I'll give it to him, man. That's all good. But nah, that's my guy. I'm glad he's good.
Wait. He hurt his arm, right?
Rib.
So why was he talking about him walking around? You ain't got no ribs in your legs.
I guess he's saying that he got carted off. That was an attention move. Like he should have been fine. He didn't need the card. Maybe is that what he's saying?
Yeah. You use a lot of times you don't need it, but they put you on it anyway.
Crazy. Well, I'm glad Chop Robinson is okay. Had me nervous for that few hours. And finally, Kenneth Grant. He was excited to be back in his old stomping grounds of Michigan. This is what KG had to say.
It feels pretty good. One of my first NFL games, I was up here in college watching the Detroit Lions play. So it's great to be back here, actually like practicing against them and seeing what goes on in practice.
All right.
State South said they had a cart for Leroy and Leroy's shoulder pads.
Get him lifted on over there. Crazy.
Hey, man, go look at all football players back then. They all had big pads.
Oof.
It wasn't like just me.
What?
You definitely had the XL model.
Yeah, you had the Jennifer convertible
You had
pillows, man.
You had the F-350.
I had a dually. Dually pads.
That was crazy. Oh, man. We'll take a break here on the program. Final hour combines. We're back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 104.3 FM, WQAM. We'll take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Get to a training camp report here, which is sponsored by Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges. Enroll today in one of over 60 Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges affordable training programs and get fast-track, financially rewarding career in 1 to 2 years. Convenient day and evening classes give you the flexibility you need while you learn. Go to careerinayear.com and get there. All right. Miami Dolphins. They got the Lions tomorrow. Jennifer, what are you most excited about with preseason? QB battle? Kenneth Grant? Scooby? Scooby got that dog in him?
He got that dog in him.
Oh, that's figured out. The Dolphins will get going tomorrow, and 11 a.m. is Game Day Uncensored. So we got that going for you. Myself and Solana, Dan Day. Actually, Dan Day is not there tomorrow. Dan Day is doing the post-game edition. I believe Brittany's on the board tomorrow. And Omar Kelly going to stop by as well. So we'll have all our coverage.
Oh, I got beef to pick with them.
Why?
With who?
With Omar and Hollywood.
Oh, do tell.
So I'm going to say this as kindly as I can to both of them. Mind your own damn business.
Whoa.
All right.
What happened?
So, Omar comes in there and sees all those damn cards.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you sign them? Why don't you sign them? Ain't none of your damn business.
I thought I removed the cards from the desk. I put them in my desk.
More cards come in. They just keep coming in.
Cards keep coming in.
I'm out
right.
Get somebody
And so then Hollywood goes, he probably just does that for attention around the building. And I'm like, buddy, there's nobody who talks less about what they did in football than me. No.
Wait, they say that you do that for attention?
Yeah.
What?
That's what Hollywood said.
That's crazy.
And so I'm going to say it as kindly as I can with no cuss words. Keep my name out your mouth.
Man.
And y'all don't know how much crap I actually do sign. There's a couple of people that know. Tobin knows when we go places. Right?
Oh, I've seen you do it. And I think I remember when Omar got you to do a pile of cards because he wanted to see these fans get their cards back. But I don't think they realize how crazy the Browns fans are for Leroy Horde and the Vikings.
And then wait. Then he had, let me try not to cuss again. The unmitigated gall.
Which one?
Hollywood. He said, I bet you if I got a Leroy Horde card and a Joe Rose card, that more people will want the Joe Rose card. And I said, well, I'll bring my Madden card and my Pro Bowl card.
Where is this coming from and why?
Just out of the blue. Just out of the blue. That's why I was like, why? What did I, you know what I mean?
Man.
What is my interaction with them that would warrant that, without knowing my business? You know what I'm saying? Without even knowing what I do and what my business is, they made comments. Oh yeah, I'm lashing out. I ain't gonna even.
I mean, I don't think you're lashing out if someone spoke about it earlier,
Right.
You're just responding in your own way.
But
nah, you're not lashing out, Leroy. Speak your piece, man.
But yeah, so yeah, I don't normally respond to people because it ain't that big of a deal. But when you are in the same building with me and don't know what my business is, shut your mouth.
You know what I want to see now? I want to see if Hollywood and Omar can tackle Leroy from the 2-yard line.
Nobody can.
Not the way I'm feeling right now.
Not the way Leroy's feeling right now. Leroy's got 3 yards in a cloud of dust ready for them bums.
Hey,
I
don't even know. I don't even know why it was like. It just came up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what did I like? What's up?
Well, if we have so many cards here that we can't stop them coming in, and that's the demand, one would think you would realize, a lot of people want this guy's autograph.
Mm-mm.
One would think if you just refreshed and got them all out of here, which I saw you do recently, fairly recently.
No, I do periodically. Sometimes it'll get, a little too much, and I'll sign some cards. But
the last ones I saw, I put them on my desk so they wouldn't get lost.
But the problem is that it's the same pile of cards all the time. The pile never goes down if you sign them. So, yeah. Like I said, Jukebox said it right. I keep a mouthpiece in my pocket all the time, just in case. So I'm ready.
Mouthpiece in.
Yeah.
Shine shoulder pads on. Oh, man. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral VW just broke the rules of gravity. Prices falling so fast, we're checking for a crater. Doral Volkswagen, they lost their minds. Doral VW, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one. The Marlins are back at it tonight. They take on the Red Sox at 7:10. Sandy's on the hill. Marlins lost 2 out of 3 to the Cleveland Guardians. That didn't go swimmingly.
Yeah. Somebody said it started about all the cards all over the desk at the studio. I don't put those cards there.
Okay, but one, you don't do that. Number 2,
right.
Where were they yesterday? Because I didn't see them.
I don't put those cards there.
And number 3, are you ever really there that you need to complain that much?
Right. Exactly. It ain't gonna be no.
Pick it up and move on.
Dude, let me explain something to you. If it gets to that level or gets to that point, it ain't gonna be no drama. Because I don't talk. I ain't gonna go back and forth. We either doing the thing or we not. End of story.
He's calling you Buckeyes. He's calling you guys Buckeyes. You're up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm catching strays, and I'm always cordial and nice to these guys and whatever. And even if it was funny, it wasn't even if it was in a method of trying to be funny. No, we ain't got to. No, Mm-mm.
You didn't find it funny.
No, it wasn't funny. It was don't tell me what I should be doing with my time.
Understood. Speaking of time, Miami Heat released their schedule. They're opening up against the Orlando Magic.
Wait, I told you that beforehand.
Well, Desmond Bain.
I told you that beforehand. Hey, Omar, a professional complainer. Listen. All right.
Leroy went to put the pads on right now.
Leroy, I'm your spirit. I'll help you.
Because I don't go at people like that, right? Just random without knowing the story, right? They don't know what's going on. I don't put those cards on that table. Somebody brings them in there thinking, oh, Leroy just going to keep signing these damn cards every day if I keep bringing them in.
Yeah, by the way, is there a racket we don't know about? Maybe Leroy's signed cards or
you could probably get one for $1.99 and a hot dog. But that ain't the point.
No.
Well, obviously, whatever people are getting from him, they don't stop coming because a lot of people like the guy as a football player.
That's what I'm saying. So he must be making some type of money.
I don't know. I've seen plenty of interactions that have gone great, but also a lot of people like this guy as a football player. He was very good.
We were walking through the casino and the dude basically came up with a wheelbarrow.
Listen, dude, I don't know what if you guys don't realize Leroy's credentials, because I think a lot of you dum-dums don't. But they're quite touted. All right. He was not sitting here as Cleveland Browns Lusaka Polite. No disrespect, Lusaka. I love you. I love you, Lusaka. I love you. But people treat you like that. And I think people do yourself a favor, throw up a Wikipedia, and you'll be in a better spot about it. I don't know.
Here's the thing though. I can't play football right now. It's been a long time since I played football. So it don't bother me whether people think that or not. But I'm not going to let you just sit here and say I did nothing. You know what I'm saying? But wow. I just had to get that out because I was just shocked, right? I was shocked that they would do something like that. Like I would come in. It's like me going to Omar and saying, Omar, why don't you write about this? Why do you always have to write about that? No, that's not my lane.
Was it a slow news day or something?
I don't know. They just kind of went after. They just kind of.
Yesterday was a slow news day. There was no.
It was this morning.
That's what I'm saying. So yesterday was a slow sports
All
day.
right.
So they needed something to talk about. And you know what? You know, their big head wasn't there. You know how they act. You know how they act. You know how they are when the teacher's away.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I tell you, Joe wouldn't allow it.
Oh, no. The Leroy disrespect?
No.
You football players don't like disrespect. If somebody was on the field, got hit by a professional, he's part of your fraternity.
Yeah.
Well, I got something to make you feel better.
What?
Storm. Duck. Quack, quack.
Is that one of your new
Somebody just said, oh, they said all that on the radio? Yes. I was just like on my way back from the gym. I'm like, wow.
Oh, that's the worst. You catching strays. You're like, wait a minute.
I'm catching strays. I'm giving them love. I'm listening to what they got to say. Let me hear what Omar got to say about camp. And you know, he wrote something interesting about the Dolphins fans, and you know, and I was like, okay, let me see what they got to say. Damn. But why they coming after me? I ain't got no weapons. Hey, what we doing? What we doing?
Oh man. Well, we'll take a break. Back with more to this. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's 104.3 FM, WQAM. Tobin and Leroy take you guys up until 2. Wes Goldberg from Lockdown Heat going to join us for the end of this hour. Because nothing sends you into the weekend quite like Wes Goldberg will, dude. That's just my opinion.
And his frosted tips.
Frosted tips.
His frosted tips.
That light really
You know,
too.
Everybody is making a thing from the 2000s. You know, I feel like all these kids, they're like, they're bringing back jorts. They're bringing back tall socks. They're bringing back everything. Nobody's bringing back the frosted tips yet, though. None of these kids.
They weren't a good idea before or now.
None of these kids are rocking the frosted tips.
Hey, just like I feel, me and a woman should be using the same hair products.
Yep.
So if I'm getting faded up, my woman can't be next to me getting faded up too. Sorry. I feel the same way about if I'm a woman and I get my hair frosted or whatever or done. I don't want to see my man right next to me getting his tips frosted too.
But what if she has a better hairline?
I'm saying she can do it. He can't.
Stud Steve says Tobin definitely had the frosted tips. Never had the frosted tips. Never dyed anything here.
Man,
I don't have the time for it.
Guess what? I've realized that
Dartboard and doom.
Guess what? Guess what's that?
No, dude, that's only one person who has to do it. It's not fair.
I do my beard.
So let me get this straight. Okay, hold on. All right, well, hold on. Let's just say this. We'll throw that on for a game. You're telling me you'll go Demolition Man with the beard?
You go blonde?
I don't know.
No, it can't be blonde because it's gonna blend into what he has going on there.
Whatever.
No, it has to be. No, it has to be. It has to be like
pink.
It has to be blonde. I have to see.
What about pink?
Like Guy Fieri.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
But it's gonna blend in though. He has like salt and pepper going on there.
Oh, trust me when I tell you, we're gonna be able to tell highlighter orange from his silver fox beard.
You're telling me a blonde beard with Leroy is gonna blend in with his skin, his complexion? No, it's not.
No, that's gonna.
I personally.
He's gonna.
Hey,
the
point of it is not to look good.
It's not. Yeah.
Like you're trying to do a
beautify
makeover.
You're starting to
dartboard of doom.
You already have white
dartboard of home improvement.
It was like bird eye for the straight guy.
You guys realize that bleach.
By the way,
make your hair white.
Guess what? I saw at Publix the other day.
What?
Chicken.
No.
Hmm?
Girl Scout cookie Pop-Tarts.
Forget about it.
Really?
Come on.
Girl Scout cookie flavor.
What flavor?
All of them.
All of them?
Wait,
did you buy all of them?
No, I ain't getting none. They had the mint ones.
I might be intrigued by
Thin
this.
mints. They had a couple other ones. I was like, too much. The racket that I'm getting from these girls outside of Publix with these small little boxes all of a sudden. I remember when them cookies came in a box, you needed a to-go bag.
So here's who's dead to me. The FIBA friendlies. I can't find any of these games. You know, I thought I went to one website.
They don't count.
I thought that I was going to be able to watch this, and I can't find this. So hard to find these games. Your YouTube page, I can't figure out anything there. You got things booked up for like a month. I'm like, what is this? You know, is this a restaurant page? Why are you scheduling things that far in advance? I can't find any of the games. Ridiculous. FIBA, get your act together. All right, I'm trying to watch Jovic, and you're making it very difficult. Very difficult.
Dead to me.
It's friendlies, though. It's not even real games. That's like you think they're showing NBA preseason over there?
Not user-friendly, I'll tell you that much.
I literally think you're the only person that's bothered by this.
He's the only person.
Not even West.
Crazy. Who's dead to you, Leroy?
Well, I already gave my dead to me.
I was in Hollywood, yeah.
I was saving it.
You're dead to me.
But then you got me going.
Sorry.
So mind your business. That's my dead to me.
Fair enough.
Keep my name out of your mouth.
That's the name of this hour, by the way.
What?
When you listen to it on the podcast,
I like it.
Hour 4. Omar Hollywood, keep Leroy's name out your mouth.
Jennifer, who's dead to you?
You know, we already know it's hot outside. We already know that people in South Florida like to go to the beach. And you know what really bothers me? When I cannot go to the beach because there is a no swim advisory.
Oh,
Due to
no.
high levels of high bacteria.
You're dead to me. The poop water.
Bacteria levels are.
Wait,
yeah.
in the pool?
That's usually what the bacteria is, right? It's usually
Well,
like
it's been going on for about a month or more. It
Yeesh.
started off in North Florida, and then it started going down. And I'm not okay with it. It's very upsetting. And Scooby's upset too.
Scooby's upset. Yeah, I haven't been to the beach since I went to St. Pete Beach when I went to the West Coast. And man, I don't even know how those fish swim in that water.
I got to tell you, I don't have those problems.
You don't go in the water.
Yeah.
Well, I have a problem because normally for my dad's birthday, we like celebrating in the water because that's what he loves to do. And you're making it very difficult for us.
You got to go. You got to go somewhere else. There's plenty of water.
Tobin, when you open the Hard Rock app, go to live basketball games. Sometimes the international games are streamed live. They don't do that. Does the Hard Rock app do that? I was unaware of this.
They want you to have action.
Yeah, I would like to bet on this. You know, that would please me. I would be happy betting on this. I've already got some action going in on the. I already got some action in on the UFC for tomorrow.
Come to the what?
Peanut Island.
Peanut
Oh,
hey.
Well, here's the problem with the nut. I'll tell you what the problem with
Pay,
the nut
right?
is.
You got to pay now, don't you?
It's not just that you got to pay. I mean, you always have to pay for the ferry, but you got to reserve to go to the nut.
Hey, yo.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you used to be able to go to the nut whenever you wanted to, you know, as I please. I could come and go from the nut as I wanted to, but now all of a sudden I got to book the nut. Ridiculous.
I really don't like when you say that.
What do you mean? Peanut Island.
And you're killing Vlad, actually.
Booking the nut is wild.
What would you?
That's a wild.
What do you guys? What would you guys want to call the Peanut Island?
Peanut Island. Its actual name.
Bro, first of all, let's be clear. There's no way Jennifer's calling it the nut.
Never. It's never going to come out of my mouth.
No.
The locals called the nut.
Especially around you guys. Look how much you're laughing. If I have to continue hearing AO when I speak, hell no.
Why not? No, you can see. Actually, you're not gonna get an AO, but they're getting AOs.
Oh wait, I was just reading the message.
He's reading. I'm like, wait.
And that's Tobin. That's Tobin.
That's what the locals call it. The locals call it the nut.
Literally you. It's just you.
No, that's what they call it.
Okay.
You get in a taxi around Riviera Beach. They're like, "Where you want to go? Want to go to the nut? Right this way, sir."
That taxi driver's gonna.
You okay?
Where is?
Yo, having a taxi driver say, "Where you want to go? To the nut. Come this way." Wow.
That's what you got to take. Water taxi to the nut.
Stop it.
Water taxi to the nut.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
I'm done. HR ain't me. It ain't me, babe.
There's nothing HR about it. That's what they call it.
It ain't me this time.
You
Oh
know?
my God, it ain't me this time.
I mean, it is. Listen,
What?
it is. ESPN used to have a field day with Dick Trickle.
No, we already saw what happened to Michael Penix.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
So yeah,
This is penis hour. This is basically the penis hour right now. This is literally the penis hour right now. Hour 4 is going to be called the penis hour.
You already said you claimed hour 4.
No. Leroy
is taking
claimed
the
hour
belts?
4, but this is wiping. I'm sorry, Leroy. The Peanut Island is just taking you out.
Yeah, well, Peanut Island, I'm telling you, the nut has very clear waters. It does.
I don't think it has clear water.
It does have clear waters, dude. I'm telling you.
I would think it would be a little murky.
I think it would be a little cloudy.
You would be
Oh my
wrong.
goodness, please. Just cut the entire hour.
I'm surprised. Wait, usually you see little footsteps. Guys. Guys.
Yeah.
It's not here.
We want to get that phone call
No, he just
or
sends
text
a text.
in all caps. Stop.
That's about how it goes. Stop.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Point for Jay.
I'm just trying to let people know if
She won't even say it, and she's red as a beet.
if you guys have never if you guys have never been to the Nut,
You're red.
I mean,
you have to make a reservation.
I'm
That's all.
fine.
You gotta make a reservation for the Nut.
Dude, it's the summer. Once the summer ends, it's clear sailing to the Nut.
Can I just tell you,
I can't even like continue.
as somebody who's been married a long time, never mind.
You already had your turn. Stop it.
I don't want to get in trouble with two fronts. Oh my goodness.
Just make sure if you want to snorkel, bring your mask for the Nut. Okay.
Oh, hey now.
Who are you directing that towards?
Anybody who's going to the Nut, bring your mask.
You definitely don't want to get that nut water in your eyes.
That's crazy. That's it. Do we have to go to break? Because I would love that. That is crazy. Leroy!
He said you got to wear a snorkel and goggles.
We heard it. We knew what he meant.
Oh,
See
boy.
all kinds of things at the Nut. Fish, an eel.
I'm sure you do see eels there.
Oh God.
Look,
Oh,
I'm gonna need to tap out on this segment.
This can't be a real.
This can't be a real segment. Hi,
Wait,
Vlad,
I did not think this was going to lead there, but it did.
wait. So guys are just chiming in. You guys talk about what I think. No, Peanut Island, dummy.
Get your mind out of the gutter, dude. One of the best beaches in Florida. Best water.
It's getting hot in
Give
here.
it to you, Vlad.
I'm sweating. Look, I'm sweating.
This is why I go wear sleeves. Thank goodness it's Friday.
Hey,
oh, that would.
I'm more than sure everybody's happy that we have more coverage. 100,000.
Welcome to you know what? It's great that we are now on the FM dial.
You know, we might actually reach that island.
We definitely listen. We're coming in crystal clear on the Nut. Trust me.
Oh, they
Just like those waters, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
You think they nothing but nothing?
I'm telling you, we are coming in pristine on the FM dial.
All right.
On the Nut.
Well, shout out to everybody at Peanut Island.
Hope you guys got your reservation.
Is the Nut.
Is anyone or anything dead to you?
I don't know, man. I don't think
His brain cells
You know
after this.
my laughter.
His breath after this.
Dude.
Yo, Leroy, that was a great. That was a great line.
Wes Goldberg from Locked On Heat. I don't know if he's ever been to the Nut, but I do know that
He looked like he was heading there.
He looked like he was heading
He
to
was
the Nut.
probably on his way, yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been where he got the frosty tips.
I'll tell you one thing. He can talk some Heat basketball. Host of Locked On Heat. We talk some Heat schedule with
I'm
Wes
outta here. I'm
Goldberg
done.
coming up next. had their schedule release yesterday. Not too many national games. Let's talk about it with Locked On Heat's Wes Goldberg here. He joins us on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, ToyotaofHollywood.com. And there we got Locked On Heat host Wes Goldberg. What's going on, Wes?
What's going on, guys?
What are we doing with frosted tips? You on your way to the Keys or something?
Frosted tip. Maybe it's
It
just
looked
the
like
sun.
you got frosted.
I thought I was supposed to do the Toyota hotline from a Toyota. Did I get that wrong?
Where you going on an adventure? You got like a weekend adventure going on?
No, just a little adventure. An adventure to Broward County.
I love it. I love it, buddy. Well, thank you for making time for us in your adventures today. So yesterday, Heat schedule comes out. We'll get to the national TV games in just a sec. Was there something that popped to you besides the lack of national TV games that right off the bat with this schedule that came out for Miami?
Yeah, the beginning of it, right? 5 out of the first 8 games all on the road, and tough road games too. I mean,
Right.
these aren't walkovers. I mean, you have 2 games in LA against the Lakers and the Clippers. You've got one against the Nuggets. You've got one against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Those are all tough places where Miami has struggled to play, especially Denver. This team is going to be tested really early in this schedule.
Would you rather get that trip out of the way, though?
Yeah, so we were talking about this on Locked On Heat yesterday, and I kind of see it, but you would like a little bit of a warm-up, I think, before you kind of get into that, especially with some new moving pieces and stuff. But you know what Eric Spoelstra and this team are going to say. They're going to say exactly, they're like, hey, we're going to get tested early. We embrace the challenge, Heat culture, Spoisms here and there, sprinkle those throughout, and then but I think there's pros and cons to it, right? Like there is a sense of urgency right off the bat, which is not something that this team has necessarily had over the last couple of years.
Well, the thing I like is that hopefully at least you'll have a healthy team at that point in the season. When they've made this trip in the past, they made it with 8 guys. And so maybe you will get a different, at least idea of what can be done or what this team can be, because it's relatively early and you'll have health.
Yeah, and look, I think this is one of the deeper teams that the Heat have had in a couple of years here. So it'll be an opportunity for them to test that depth. It'll be an opportunity for them to kind of figure out, okay, like, what are we? Are we good enough in the Eastern Conference to really compete? And to your point, like you can get some of these tougher games out of the way early, but it's a kind of a weird schedule anyway. They have another 5-game road trip later in the season, but that's against some of those more cupcake type of teams like Portland and teams like Utah. Those kinds of teams that are a little bit easier. Sacramento is on that trip as well. So yeah, I think you get part of it out of the way. It's a tough schedule in the beginning too. Like they get back. They play Charlotte and Portland after those first 8 games, and then they play the Knicks twice and the Cavs twice. So it's a rough start to the schedule, but at the same time, it should lighten up for them, in the second half of the year.
So one thing that obviously stood out to a lot of fans, not a lot of national exposure, only 5 national TV games with the new TV package and all that. Do you feel like the Heat take that as any kind of a message to them, or do you feel like it shouldn't be a surprise with where they've been the last couple of years?
If they're surprised, I don't know why they would be. I mean, they lost their superstar player in Jimmy Butler. They got routed in the playoffs last year. They didn't look like a playoff team in the postseason last year. Yeah, I don't think that they should be surprised. Now, to the first part of your question, will they use it as motivation? 100%. They're going to use it as motivation. They're going to do nobody believes in us. We're always overlooked. This is exactly where we want to be. And by the way, I think that's true. To me, I look at maybe the biggest motivation for them is the Las Vegas over-under has them at like 38.5 wins. And I think they're going to look at that and be like, hey, we haven't lost that many games in a year that wasn't sort of derailed by a Jimmy Butler trade demand in 10 years. Like, we don't do that. Right. We don't lose that many games. I think there's plenty of motivation for them going into this season. You combine the win totals, you combine the lack of national TV exposure, you combine that urgency that they're going to have to start the schedule. We're going to learn a lot about this team because they didn't show that level of passion or urgency last year. And I think for a team that I think a little bit wrongly, there was sort of a narrative around this group about, they've proven that the regular season doesn't matter. It's all about the playoffs. I don't think they ever truly believed in that. But they didn't necessarily show that either in the regular season, and now they have to show it.
We know who's responsible for that. That's
of course.
your man Tobin right here.
What?
Who's leading the charge of the playoff Jimmy.
That's
and
not
don't
fair.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
How can
Don't
you
worry
say
about
that I am that guy? I'm watching Serbia, Czech Republic later today. Everything matters to me.
Playoff Nico.
I don't even have you found any of these Serbian websites to try and watch these
Nobody's
games?
watching this.
It's pretty scary. I don't know how to log. It's hard to log on to those websites.
I can't even get onto Euro Hoops without feeling like they're taking my social security.
They probably are.
No, they probably
But
are.
it's worth it.
Well, I guess this is the question, because we know about the talent. Like, I'm not surprised the Heat are where they are with the national team. Do you feel like, we were talking about this a little earlier, do the Heat have a guy that will draw in the crowd nationally? Like, is there a talking point? Because Tyler and Bam, we know they're good. This is not a declaration on their talent. We know they're very talented. It's not always talent. It's like, is there going to be a guy? Is it Kel'el? Is it a Nico Leap? Do they have anything on this roster? Because Norman Powell is like even the perfect Heat guy because he's very good, but I don't know how many people are paying to watch Norman Powell play. So, like, do you feel like any of the young guys can become that for Miami, or is it another jump from Tyler that could, like, draw the nation back in to make the Heat a spectacle?
The short answer is no. I don't think that player is on the roster. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the roster isn't good enough to make compelling TV, to play good and entertaining basketball games. But there's a difference between talent and TV product, right? Like Melo Ball is a TV product, right? He's a high jersey sale guy, but he doesn't impact winning in any meaningful way in Charlotte. And yet kids will tune into Hornets games and try to find the LaMelo Ball highlights from the few games in the season that he actually does play. So, I think that Tyler Hero can take another leap. Bam can take another leap. That the rest of the roster and its depth can put together a good basketball product. But in terms of, hey, this is the guy that we're going to sell to NBC, Peacock, Amazon Prime, ESPN, they don't have that kind of star power roster. And I think the Heat know it, because I don't know if you guys watched that like 4-minute video announcing the fact that the schedule was announced. Like, Davion Mitchell is the headliner. He just got here. And Davion Mitchell's like the main character in this schedule release video. So I think they're just sort of looking for everything right now.
You think it's a situation where we've seen teams have success without that mega star, right? And it's still, even if they have success, because they don't have that mega star, it's going to be hard for the country to warm up to them. Even if they were to win a championship, it will still be kind of has that, like, we're going to look back after the fact and go, those guys were really good. Kind of like we did Detroit. Remember when Detroit won with
right.
a whole bunch of guys.
Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think with success we get more eyes.
I think you're seeing that even with OKC this last year, right? Like Oklahoma City has a star player. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the best player in the league last season. And yet I don't know that he's a star. Like, he's not a celebrity in the way that people are going out and buying his jerseys a ton, that he's in a ton of different commercials. Like, he's got that one AT&T commercial, I think it is, and that's like it. He's not a big celebrity, not a big superstar draw, but the Thunder are on national TV 34 times because they're the defending champions. They're really good.
Right.
And people are figuring out, like, they're getting hip to the Thunder being good. And it took them literally winning a championship in order for that to happen. They were the 1 seed 2 years ago. They weren't on national TV that way. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been this good for a couple of years, but it took them winning the whole thing in order for people to really recognize that. And now that's the selling point, right? We're the defending champs. Come take the belt. Like, that's the compelling TV draw that gets them on national TV. So I think the Heat, I think they're going to be better than people expect this year. I really do. I don't know that they're not going to win the championship. I don't think that they're a contender, but I think they're going to win 40 plus games and they're going to be a decent basketball team. And people will probably like watching them more than they think. But yeah, they're going to have to really put all of this together at some point eventually, superstar or not, in order to kind of get that national sort of recognition and exposure.
Is this a talent thing or a health thing? Because the last couple of years, they've been decimated at the wrong possible times with injuries. And I would say that if everybody was healthy, you would have seen a different Heat team. But for the last, 3-4 years, they can never be healthy at the biggest moments of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right about the last couple of years. I think it was a health thing, specifically with Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that the two things are mutually exclusive. Like the best ability is availability, right? Like you could argue health is a skill, health is a talent. And Jimmy Butler just wasn't healthy enough during the regular season, and then they were ended up being in the play-in tournament in three of the 3 last years, and that just kind of puts them behind the 8 ball. It puts them at a disadvantage going into the postseason, as we saw last year, getting wiped by the number 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers, and then the year prior, same thing happened to the Boston Celtics. Like you're not doing yourself any favors when you're doing it that way. Now, though, I do think it's a talent issue. They don't have that apex superstar player who you throw the ball to, get out of the way, and he can go take care of things. So it's just that kind. You need that player in the postseason, right? Like as great as Bam is, as Tyler Hero is, as some of these other guys are, they don't really have that guy who can just do it all himself, and that sort of North Star that, again, they could throw the ball to. He can kind of just figure it out. He can run the offense. He is the offense. He is the system. They don't really have that. That's the guy that they're missing.
Talking to Wes Goldberg, host of the Locked On Heat podcast. Well, before we get you out of here, man, there's been a lot of talk over the last couple of weeks about Tyler Hero's contract, teams monitoring it, even other players comparing to what Tyler's going to get. How interesting do you think that storyline is going to be this year about what Tyler Hero's money is going to be, where he ends up getting, and then like the idea that he's kind of this measuring stick for some other young guys in the league?
Yeah, he was that way when he signed the last deal, right? You saw a guy like R.J. Barrett sign his contract, Hero signed his. So he's always been sort of that measuring stick because he's a really interesting, he's an interesting measuring stick in that way because he was sort of the 6th man of the year. Could he be a starter? And then he's a fringe all-star. And then last year he becomes an all-star. And I do think that, that are you better or worse than Tyler Hero? I think that's a fair kind of place to be. Now, whether or not his extension gets signed before the season is a talking point. I think it's interesting. The most interesting thing about it is I think we're entering an era in this NBA, like this new apron world, where players like Tyler Hero, like a Zach LaVine or a Bradley Beal or something like that, they used to just get the max money. They just got it. The organizations just gave it to them. Everybody was happy. There was no negotiations. Either you were a max guy or you weren't. And if you were close to it, they gave it to you, and then you just kept moving on, and then you just sort of dealt with it later. You can't afford to do that if you're an organization anymore. And if the Heat, with one max player already in Bam Adebayo, if they give Tyler Hero the full max, it's going to be 60% of their cap tied up into 2 players. And, Bam and Tyler Hero are very good. They're not good enough where you can have those 2 guys representing 60% of your cap. And so the Heat are going to have to make a decision. Now, they've already paid Bam, so they're not going to be able to afford to pay Tyler Hero the max amount of money and build a roster around them. And that's why I think it's interesting because of what Tyler Hero sort of represents. And there's other players like this, right? But Tyler Hero, for our purposes, sort of represents this new era of team building that we're kind of getting into, and fans who follow this kind of stuff are learning about it as they're getting walked through it by their own team. So I think the Heat are going to figure out, okay, like this is how we got to build. You're going to have to, like I said before, there used to be no negotiations. Now there's a negotiation. It's going to look a little bit more like the NFL, I think, where it's like, we could pay you all this, but we don't really want to because we got to do all these other things. Can we bring you down? And then when do players start kind of accepting that and figuring out, okay, this is sort of the new reality. We don't just get the money the way that we used to go get it.
Is this a big year for the young players? Because if you're going to do this with Tyler, then a guy like Jovic, a guy like Kel'el, Jaime, David, all these guys are going to have to really perform to kind of make the Heat comfortable with having this, kind of method of re-signing Tyler. If they're not any good, then you have a whole nother conversation, but you might only have 2 players to start your team with.
It's such a great point, right? Because are you young, or do you just have a couple of young guys that you kind of like? Are you a young core that you're building with, or are you just sort of nowhere waiting for something better to show up? This is a huge year for all the young guys. I think it's a huge year for Kel'el, who, up and down in Las Vegas. They need to see more from him, certainly, and they need to see a big leap. And they've got a lot invested into Kel'el as the starter next to Bam Adebayo. It's a big year for Nikola Jovic because Tyler Hero's not the only one up for an extension. So is Nico, right? And so he'll be a restricted free agent next summer. there's a lot of money potentially on the line for Nikola Jovic to make here. And then for Jaime Jaquez Jr., he's coming off of a sophomore slump. He has to be better. They need some of these, and Pelle Larsson, he's been good, but is he an every night rotation NBA level player? So there's a lot of questions for these guys to answer. And when you look at the depth chart, they're a big part of it. So are the Heat deep? Are they not? The Heat have a lot of players who are interested in that are worth talking about. We don't know how many rotation guys they actually have until this season actually starts and they actually show the improvement that they need to see from them. It's a huge year for everybody. And so the answer to your question, Leroy, is yes. I mean, this is what it looks like when you exit an era and start a new one. It's a big year for everybody on the roster. Are you a part of what's next or are you not?
Go check out Wes's work. Wes Goldberg, Locked On Heat podcast, YouTube, all your podcast platforms, Real GM Radio as well. It does some great work. Go follow him on all the social media platforms. Thanks for the time, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Wes.
Thanks, guys.